Okay, welcome to your E2ZR tutorial. I'll come back to academics here and I'll hit subject brochure. Now the subject brochure, when you're on board on E2ZR, they are already preloaded with all the popular subjects, across the education system that you're operating in. So probably some of your subject has not been captured here. You can either add them, manually, or you can import them using the Excel sheet. So, but I can show you that most of the subjects that are obtainable are already here, so you can either edit or delete. You can do anything in this area. Probably some subjects that don't belong in your own subject brochure, you can delete them, you can edit them. The whole point of this is for you to be able to customize your E2ZR to your own taste. Now, once we have confirmed that the subject brochure is up to date, we can also come to the category subject. This is where you now get to assign each subject to the category that they belong to. So for pre-nursery, as you can see, there are no subjects here. So for instance, now if you want to add subject to the pre-nursery class, all you just need to do is to hit this plus icon here, and from this drop down, all the subjects in the subject brochure will display here, and whatever belongs to pre-nursery, you just select them here and keep selecting. Of course, further math doesn't belong to pre-nursery. Let me see one that could belong, maybe music and fine arts, I guess. So once that is taken care of, you can save the subject. Once that is done, once you hit save, I'm gonna hit save here, and you see in pre-nursery the subject starts populating. I'm gonna delete this now because I won't be using it, so that you can delete subjects in case probably you made a mistake. I'm gonna delete this too. So you can see preloaded on your E2ZR will be some of the subjects in their different categories. You can either add or delete them to set up the grades. Now you can either do this under the academics and set up here, or you can go where that is always done, in the exams and records office rather. Now what you want to do is come to grades. Now for all the categories that are on your E2ZR from pre-nursery till the SS classes, if you have the SS classes on your E2ZR, you can customize the grading system. So this is how it works. So let's say for basic, in the basic class now, we can see this is the default grading system, but probably you want to change it a bit. So how this works is between 1 and 40, grade is F and comment is fail. So these are the things that will be showing on the result sheet. So once scores start to get computed, E2ZR or your E2ZR will use this grading system to allocate grades to your students and grade them the way they are meant to be graded. So between 1 and 40, the grade is F, and you can see the comment is fail. Probably in your school it doesn't obtain like that. You can set, okay, probably it's F9 or something, or comment will be failed. It could be anything really. It depends on what you use in your school. So you can say between 40 and 45 will be E, between 45 and 50 will be D, between 50 and 60 will be C, between 60 and 70 will be B, and 70 and above will be A. Now it could be, like I said, it could be different in your school. You could decide in your school you want to use A1, B2, C6, C5 and the likes like that. So once that is done, if I come to edit, you can even set grade colors, So on the result sheet, let's say you print your result physically. On the result sheet, if a student fails a course, it will have this nice color here, and on the result sheet, to show the color which is red. If it's pass or excellent, you can play with the color wheel here, and it's green. Yeah, you can do anything with it, and that's really, really beautiful. Now the next thing after grades, once you're done with this place, is to come to the result entry setup. Now the result entry setup, this is how it works. Now in your school it could be different, but preloaded on E2ZR, it's CA1, CA2, then the exam, which is obtainable in so many schools. But probably you want to change the naming convention. Your own might not be CA1, it could be test 1, it could be anything. You have the freedom to change this and to also assign value to it. Although the system will still be seeing it as CA1, you can just ensure that you just select this column. As long as it's the first test, you can do that. So you can change the name here. Probably your school doesn't operate in CA1 and CA2. You can probably everything is just one test or one CA. You can just make CA2 invisible and just make CA1 visible. Exam is obviously visible already, but the total must be 100, or else you will not be able to save this. So you must ensure that for us to make this 100, so I think I'll make this 40, and once it's 40, you see the save button pops up here and you're able to save. So CA will be graded over 40 and exam will be graded over 60. Yes, that's how that works. So let me just return this back to, okay, I'll just leave it and save. Great. So the term settings, these are the weighted value for each term. So it's possible your school for each term has its own different weighted values. So, and this is what will be used to calculate the total average for each of the students on their report sheet. Probably the average or the weight value for term 1 will be 50, for term 2 is 50. Well, the whole total should be 100 anyway. So probably your weight value, let's say it's for first term, let's say it's 20, for second term, let's say it's 30, and for third term, so that's 30 plus 20, that's 50. Let's say third term is 50. So different schools, different unique ways of administering results. You can do that with Edosia here.